right, hello everybody. This is definitely the right place you've joined this morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you might be. But yeah, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin DeFi, and yeah, that's going to be very very exciting. We're here with Hadan from Alex and with Aki from DLC.link. So yeah, my name is Tycho. I'm a general manager at Trust Machines, where we're building the largest application of Bitcoin, or the largest ecosystem of Bitcoin applications. And next to that, I'm also co-founder of Zest protocol, which will offer on-chain Bitcoin yields to Bitcoin holders and under-collateralized loans to institutions. So very much into the whole Bitcoin DeFi space. And yeah, I mean, really, bear markets are for building, right? That's why you're also all here, right? That's why Hadan is here. That's why Aki is here. That's why all of you in the audience are here. And yeah, we're really excited about giving some sort of impression what it's like being in the trenches, building stuff, and also what's likely going to be possible, right, a year from now. Because when building, you want to be early, you want to be in the right community. That's going to build the technology that you want to use to make your use case possible. And yeah, that's really what we want to zoom into today. And yeah, I'll be kind of moderating this session. So yeah, really excited to hear from Hadan and Aki. But maybe first, Hadan, do you want to briefly introduce yourself and what you work on, Alex, before we dive a little bit deeper into that in a second?
Sure. So Tycho, Aki, it's a pleasure to share this panel with you both. My name is Hadan with the Alex Lab Foundation Growth Team. My background is I did my undergrad studies in physics at Harvard. Then I joined Goldman Sachs as a fixed income trader on the LATAM currency and structured products desk. That's how I met our co-founder Chanda Shu, and that's how, like a lot of other team members, I came to gradually be disillusioned with traditional finance. Having witnessed early on in my career the 2008 crisis due to information, a lack of transparency, information asymmetry, over-leveraging by banks, and not knowing who owed what to whom, which ultimately required a federal bailout. And it was really the general public that suffered the most, with people losing their jobs and their houses. And so that implanted in me a sense that there had to be a better way. And that's what led me towards Bitcoin and blockchain, that we now have a superior technology, thanks to Satoshi, to go from trusted to trustless systems. As for Alex, we are a DeFi protocol with all transactions settled on Bitcoin. Alex currently provides an AMM DEX, an IDO launchpad, yield farming, and borrow lend with more features to come. We want to position ourselves as the financial hub of Stacks. Our DEX has the deepest liquidity on Stacks. That's where Stacks users can come to most efficiently swap their tokens. We've also partnered with projects like Gamma so that their backend uses our API, enabling NFTs to be purchased, not just with Stacks, but also with XBTC, XUSD, and any other Alex listed token. Our IDO launchpad connects emerging Stacks projects with our core users that have a track record of staking and yield farming, which benefits not only new projects by connecting them with the ideal token holders, but also rewards our long-term holders by giving them exclusive access to these new projects.
Yep.
Amazing. Great stuff. And Aki, I guess now over to you. Can you briefly introduce yourself and what you guys are working on?
Yeah, just to jump in. Yeah, Aki Balogh, entrepreneur. I've been in data, AI, machine learning for 10 years, built a company in the content marketing space over 8 years. And 2 years ago, started looking at crypto, and I basically left to build another product. I want to build products that help move society along, and building on Bitcoin was absolutely, the best way to do that. So essentially, we're implementing an invention that came out of MIT 4 years ago. It was created by Taj, who co-created the Lightning Network, called discrete lock contracts. And what DLCs let you do is they let you lock Bitcoin into escrow in your wallet and use it in DeFi in a more secure way. So you don't have to bridge it or send it to a custodian like Wrap Bitcoin to use it. So it's a very high impact technology. And we're building a platform that enables app developers to more easily integrate it and basically all the kind of smart contracts, the Oracle system, Bitcoin Oracle system, wallet libraries, just all the components you need to be able to use native Bitcoin in your application. Lots of use cases. One big use case for this is the use of Bitcoin as collateral in lending. But some of the other use cases that Stacks, I mean, Stacks is really an ideal place, to utilize native Bitcoin directly from wallets, because you really use it to do kind of auction bids and kind of Kickstarter campaign, any kind of conditional payment where Bitcoin would be moved based on Bitcoin Oracle or sort of data feed from an external provider, can be built. So it really opens up a universe of applications for Stacks developers.
Yeah, amazing. That's. I mean, I can definitely say that I'm also very, very excited about the potential of DLCs and being able to integrate more natively. Because it's actually technology that's been around for a while, but like you actually need all these different components around it, right, to actually be able to use it. So that's some really exciting work that you guys are doing. And maybe before sort of cycling into like what a future could look like with more native Bitcoin integrations. Maybe curious, maybe Hadan, if you could maybe shine some light on like what kind of what are you using now, right? And what is the sort of Alex community using now in terms of like Bitcoin integrations on Stacks, and then from there we can kind of look at what that might look like in the future. What does the experience look like today?
Sure. So currently, Alex does use wrap tokens such as XBTC and XUSD. XBTC is wrapped with TokenSoft as our tech partner and Anchorage as custodian. XUSD is also wrapped by TokenSoft, but with a multi-signature contract on Ethereum. The drawback of wrapped custodial tokens like XBTC is that you do take on custody centralization risk. So we see XBTC as an intermediate solution as we work to provide our community with several options. As a custodial solution, there is XBTC. A non-custodial decentralized solution would be something like Magic Bridge, which we hopefully see the liquidity increase. What Aki is building through DLC and Bitcoin escrow contracts looks extremely promising as well. And we're open to all these solutions. And collectively, I think we're all awaiting a protocol native decentralized Bitcoin. Because after all, Stacks is a sovereign chain. And so accessing something that is outside itself is contradictory. Stacks can read Bitcoin state, but it presently cannot write to it. So what we need to focus on is really what we mean by native, or more precisely, what it is that we want to achieve when we say native access compared to non-native solutions. In reality, we are really mostly talking about custody centralization risk, i.e. not having to part with your Bitcoin before being able to use it. So by native, we are really talking about having a trustless, decentralized version of Bitcoin on Stacks, one that doesn't change the ownership. And Stacks, I believe, is in a unique position. It is the best L1 and likely the only L1 with the potential to realize that due to its unique relationship to the Bitcoin blockchain through proof of transfer. And I don't think it's just theoretical. As Munib has said that the brilliant minds of Stacks are working on solving the Bitcoin write problem, i.e. fully trustless Bitcoin with the peg in, peg out, and Stacks contracts writing to the BTC chain. And I believe in our ecosystem, we are making very good progress to solve the Bitcoin write problem with a view towards building not just a trustless BTC peg in, peg out, which we hope to see more announcements on the progress that's being made in the weeks to come. At the moment, until such a solution exists, we continue seeing demand for XBTC. And again, we're always open to providing more options, more solutions, and working with new teams and what they want to bring to the Stacks ecosystem with things like DLC.link and other decentralization options.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great stuff. That's a fantastic summary, right? So there's currently this XBTC, right, which is backed one-to-one or more than one-to-one by Bitcoin held in Anchorage, right, which is like a very, very safe custodian. But of course, it introduces this kind of, it does introduce a trusted element, right? And then it's like, how can we move, from this sort of first, stopgap to the future from there. Right. And yeah, then there are interesting things possible, today or soon with Magic, where you can trustlessly swap, right? You can leverage that read access to Bitcoin state that Stacks has, and that the blocks are produced at the same time.
Right.
But there's much more possible, and much more that's being worked on. So Aki, like what is sort of your, if you know, assuming of course you guys are going to be very, very successful, what does the world look like one year from now?
Yeah, absolutely. We're working hard to get the first prototype out by the end of the year. We're partnering with a Stacks lender called Tycho to have an actual DLC implementation where users can just deposit their native Bitcoin and without having to send it or swap it, or without, frankly, triggering a taxable event by moving it. So we anticipate that will be quite exciting. Once that is live, and kind of in parallel, we're working with as many teams as possible to just test the various ways of using this. We do feel that there's a tremendous UX advantage to using DLCs as well, because it really cuts out a lot of steps from the user's interaction. Frankly, a lot of Bitcoin users, think of El Salvador or other countries where they're using Bitcoin to, various ways, or using it as store of value. A lot of people are not engineers, so they don't want to do kind of an 8-step flow and swap to different places and incur risks. And they are very terrified when bridges get hacked as well, such as the one this week and the one practically every month these days. So the ability to just lock it in, sign a contract in their wallet, lock in and just use that Bitcoin in other applications is tremendous. Basically, we're just looking to unlock that for as many use cases as possible. It really, DLCs, we see a lot of potential, but it really is best thought of as a front end to really powerful, applications. So it really, if we solve that kind of initial on-ramp or usability challenge in a safer, more decentralized way, that will be success for us. But some of the other items on our roadmap, basically 2 innovations. One is the use of DLCs on Lightning. There's some interesting thoughts around Lightning escrow, but it hasn't been fleshed out yet. So that'll be on our roadmap for next year. And then the other is right now DLCs are completely non-fungible. When you lock into an escrow, you're not transferring the escrow to other places. And there are some ideas. We're working with the Bitcoin community to think through what could it be, what could it look like if it were fungible, and what would that unlock, potentially using state chains or other solutions. So those are some of our kind of more maybe more speculative ideas for next year. But right now we're just trying to make it work on the first couple of applications. And the good thing about it is because the math has been done and the DLC white paper has been out there for years, so it is very cryptographically secure, and there's guaranteed an orders of magnitude safer than sort of the alternatives that are in use today, billions of dollars transacting in various unsafe ways. So we're really passionate about making this happen.
And what, in very short, what is a DLC?
Yes, so DLC is a 2 of 3 multisig. So it's an agreement between a party and a counterparty where there's an independent Oracle network that also kind of monitors the outcome. And so we call that a Bitcoin Oracle because it allows a data feed to conditionally move Bitcoin. So it's basically a 2 or 3 multisig tech. And it eliminates counterparty risk. So when you use 100% escrow to, in a financial transaction, it eliminates counterparty risk. And we are building systems that trust minimize or eliminate as much, custodian risk and as possible. So it really it really opens up a lot of just another layer of decentralization on top of native Bitcoin without having to have a smart contract specifically run on Bitcoin. It enables an arrangement or an agreement between a user and an application that is governed, that the application is governed by a smart contract. So it just kind of opens another layer there.
Yeah, that's and that's also one of the things I think is a really interesting sort of potential of Stacks, right? Because we have the read access to Bitcoin state. Someone could move Bitcoin into a DLC, could check from a Clarity contract that that's happened, and then execute from there, of course, making sure that there is a reliable Oracle network that of course you guys are working on. But yeah, that's really how these things interlock or interlink, and all that innovation can sort of live off each other in a great way. So Hadan, like what kind of, having spoken about DLCs for a little bit, what are sort of some of the use cases that you see for the kind of Alex community to leverage?
Sure. And so we're at work, building, as you say, bear markets are for building. We're currently at work on a wrap bridge that is connecting XUSD on Stacks with USDC on Ethereum. And the bridge testnet, we're looking to start soon, within 1 to 2 weeks. Our order book testnet is currently live. And the next step of that will be our order book mainnet, which we're aiming to have hopefully by the end of the month. Following order book, we're working on Stacks lending. This will enable users to receive a leveraged Stacks yield, which we think the community will find very exciting to have the opportunity to earn, say, a 10x Stacks yield. Also in the future, we'll be offering stable swaps, which are swaps between stable coins. This benefits the ecosystems, as swaps between stable coins have very low slippage. And as an LP provider, you can earn trading fees with a minimal and permanent loss risk. Our ultimate goal, however, is to transform Bitcoin into a yield-producing asset. And Stacks is really unique as the only blockchain where supporters earn a native Bitcoin yield. And I think it's important to underline, especially with this crypto winter, with all the Ponzi-nomics that we've seen, how unique Stacks yield is, because it just doesn't come out of thin air. It's a yield that comes directly from the activity on the Stacks network. So it's non-inflationary, and it is quite remarkable in that way. And so, of course, Bitcoiners would love to earn more Bitcoin, but they don't necessarily want to take the exchange rate risk of holding Stacks. So this is where Alex will provide a DeFi solution with an intuitive user interface where, through a smart contract, it will handle the conversion of Bitcoin to Stacks. It will hedge out the exchange rate risk between Stacks and Bitcoin. It will return the Bitcoin yield from stacking, and at maturity, it will return your Bitcoin principal. Bitcoin will then be more than just a store of value. It can be put to work earning a yield from the growing activity on Stacks. This is a win-win for Bitcoin and for Stacks. And in fact, I like to think of it as the dawn of the Bitcoin economy. Although, of course, to fully realize this vision, it does require DeFi with trustless BTC, which is what we're sort of like all working towards in the waiting. And, towards Aki and DLC.link, I think it's an extremely interesting idea with many applications. I think that the Bitcoin escrow contracts could provide a more decentralized alternative to XBTC. And as soon as those escrow solutions go live on Stacks mainnet, we want to be among the first to introduce it to our community through AMM pools, et cetera. If our community could build services incorporating such escrow solutions on Alex, that would be even better. We know that a lot of people are looking towards DLC Bitcoin contracts. We hope to see some live examples of its use on Stacks soon. That'll give us an idea of how it may work with Alex. And if there are any community-led initiatives that uses, say, DLC.link to build on Alex, we are very supportive of that. So please reach out to us, let us know, and you'll have the full backing of the Alex team and support.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. And what I'm hearing is mainly, you can do Bitcoin as collateral potentially in a DLC, right? That's like, it could be an interesting use case for Alex. It's like the perp stuff that you're working on. So I guess those are some maybe immediate things to think of, or for builders to contribute to. So we have about 1 minute left. There's a lot of amazing activity in the chat, so people are really excited here. And there was one question about Lightning and DLCs, and it is now has disappeared. Oh, there we go. And also how that potentially compares with stablecoin activities on Lightning. I'm not sure if you, Aki, want to give a sort of 10-second thoughts of DLCs and Lightning and how they are maybe similar or not.
Yes, well, we're not, from a technical standpoint, I'm not comfortable digging into it yet because we ourselves haven't looked into deep enough to really understand. But conceptually, it seems quite powerful because with DLCs, you're still moving Bitcoin, which does not make it great for very transactional use cases. So because of gas and so on, so extending that to Lightning would be a huge win. So that'll be next year for us.
Brilliant, fantastic. And then time is up, so I'm going to hand it back to Kyle for the next exciting chats that are going to happen during this Bitcoin Unleashed. And yeah, until next time, guys.
All right, thank you, Tycho. Thank you, Aki.
Thank you very much.